see if that happens.
Speaking of re-releases, so we have another re-release coming out this week, and this is the biggest film that's ever been put out there. And, of course, we all know what we're talking about, and that's Avatar. So Avatar is being re-released this week. But here's the twist. If you stay till the end, and no spoilers here, I promise, and if you haven't seen it like me, then shame on you, then they're actually going to be putting new footage in there. So I think that's what's going to attract a lot of people to go to the showings of this. So it's actually going to be at the end. So it's going to be your run-of-the-mill after credit scene. Now, how much they're going to show, I don't know. It depends on the situation and everything else. But what I do know is you're going to get a lot of people to stick around. And, I mean, the numbers are just staggering, of course. So I know we talk about this all the time. It's made... This is unbelievable. This isn't even including re-releases that are coming out. $2.847 billion.
Crazy.
Can you believe? I mean, that is just an insane number.
And it's not like a movie that came out, 3 years ago. The film came out in 2009, 13 years ago.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you, like, how much this movie is the weight.
Now, I mean, a lot of people could say it was also because it was in 3D that it earned a lot more money than maybe it should have.
Yeah, but they could say that about IMAX too.
Yes.
This is before, and you got to understand something too. This is before all these membership passes, like A-List or the Regal Pass that we have, or whatever, before any of that.
So I hate to say it, David, but I think also back then more people were going to the movies because it
definitely
was before streaming. It was before
Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel was in its infancy at that point. So you had movies like Avatar and all these other movies that were coming around, and you had a 90-day theatrical window instead of 45. And I don't know. I don't have the number in front of me. I'd like to find this out. But I can guarantee you this stayed in movie theaters a hell of a lot longer than 90 days.
Yeah.
It had to have. And, that's why it was so consistent in how much money it made. And what it made. I mean, and that's the thing, too, like I always tell people is we make movies for overseas. So it actually on Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 81% fresh rating, and the audience score was 82% for the original back in 2009. 2 hours and 35 minutes. So that goes to show you. I mean, 7 to 10 million, do you think that's a little high? Or do you think, let me ask you this question. If Don't Worry Darling gets bad reviews, do you really think that they'll say, I'm going to go see your Avatar instead?
I don't think so. Because I don't think the audience that would be seeing Don't Worry Darling would see Avatar on that whim. But we will see. I do find the point you brought up at the beginning of this topic with them adding, an additional scene, I find very interesting because they have not advertised that. The Avatar re-release has been advertised as just a re-release. In the trailers and, in the commercials, they haven't said, stick to the end to watch a special sneak peek at Avatar: The Way of Water.
I think they wanna surprise people.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how that business strategy works, because when you look at Spider-Man No Way Home and what they did with the re-release for that, they did announce that there would be new scenes. They even showed some of the new scenes in the trailers, and that did pretty well on its re-release. I don't know, because I personally, I don't want to see new scenes from Avatar: The Way of Water. I want to see a trailer, because I don't like seeing clips anymore of movies. I like seeing those scenes when I'm watching the film. Like, if you're basically watching a clip outside of a movie, it's like, reading a chapter in the middle of a book, and it just doesn't really mesh well. But I think that I would have liked to hear them say, we're going to release a new trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water. But then again, maybe they will do that after this re-release, and that's when they will release the tickets. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, because also it's like they decided to take Avatar off of Disney Plus for this re-release. They want people to feel like the only way they can see Avatar before The Way of Water comes out is by going to the re-release. And that's also, I think, a smart move. But I don't know. I think Don't Worry Darling is still going to make the money it will make. And I think it will still be number one. And don't forget, there's also The Woman King out right now. And I think that film, my prediction is that we will see Don't Worry Darling number one, The Woman King number two, and Avatar number three. And if it's a miracle, though, like if Avatar does take the number one spot, think about how big of a deal that would be, because then all those people out there that are like, oh, Avatar: The Way of Water isn't going to make any money. Avatar: The Way of Water is...
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you know anybody that honestly, in film circles, do you honestly think or know anybody that says, Avatar's not going to make it?
Well,
Avatar 2
I don't think it's Avatar's not going to make any money, but I've heard from some people that we even know that, like, they said they think that people are overestimating how much Avatar will make. And I'm like,
I get that. But at the same time, you'd rather overestimate than underestimate.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way. How much were they originally estimating No Way Home to make? When the numbers first 130, 140 million. And then the projections started to go up to like 170, 180. And then they were high as 200, and they said, no, there's no way it's going to make 200.
Yeah.
And it blew it up for $250 million opening weekend. Fifth highest of all time. So that tells you something.
Yeah.
The point of that, I think that it's going to make its money regardless. I think that and here's another thing to consider, Kyle. They have all between now and December, the end of December, or middle of December, they have Monday Night Football anytime they want.
Yep.
All they got to do is drop a new trailer in halftime. You remember what happened with Star Wars: The Force Awakens? I mean, it just crashed every single movie. Adam and Fandango and Regal and Ames, it crashed every single site. So if I were them, I would turn around and do it on a Monday Night Football, because you're only doing this for a week or a weekend.
But there's also the other little movie coming out, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And
that's true.
I do wonder how they will market, because, I mean, yes, the films are a month away from each other, but we're talking about the two biggest movies of the year that are...
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
How will they market them separately? Because I think that Monday Night Football, I have to say, we are probably only like a week away, I would guess, from the next Black Panther: Wakanda Forever trailer. I think that thing is imminent.
Absolutely.
And we'll have to see.
I would say maybe the 1st of November. Maybe not this week, the next week. I would say, looking at the calendar right now, probably November 3rd. So, yeah, I mean, they're probably going to drop it. Oh, I mean, realistically, they could drop it on Halloween. I mean, not that they would. I'm not saying they would. I'm just saying that's realistic. Wakanda Forever.
Oh,
I mean, here's what I think, to be absolutely honest with you. I think that Disney is not going to want to drop both the Avatar trailer and the Wakanda Forever trailer together. Yeah. When I say together, I mean with a week.
That's why they didn't drop that at D23.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's gonna be interesting.
I do wonder.
So how much
when it comes to Avatar, though, will they release the trailer with this new re-release? Because I mean, they're saying that we're getting scenes, but I also read a report that said it's different for every theater. So there could be, if you remember, at D23, they released like 15 to 20 minutes of footage from Avatar: The Way of Water. Most likely, they will be releasing segments of that footage at
no doubt.
Screens. But will they release a trailer? That is a whole question. But that'll be exciting. When are you going to see? Do you know when you're seeing the re-release for Avatar?
Probably, maybe Friday. Definitely.
I can't see it till next week. I can't see it. I want to see it.
I have to go see it, just to go see it my first time. So, but what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be, how much do you think it's going to make? Do you think that there's going to be a trailer at the end of this? Or do you think it's just going to be scenes? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section.